The game has been reset. Heading on in, we'll see if they can get people to join the teams or if there's another issue going on. Oh, I see cars dropping, so it looks like players are getting on in and ready to play. Alrighty, 5 minutes left on the clock. Off to a great start. Kickoff of the night goes to Heads and Boneless Paint. Hopping on down there. Here we see Cogtray with the ball, popping it on down over to Vaca, who tosses it into the corner for a little reset, trying to recenter it, popping on down. Heads, throwing it in, left and right, bringing it to him. Vaca Flocka goes and makes a double tap off the wall, shot into the goal right off the bat here. Here we see Boneless tapped it on down. Vaca off the wall to himself to bring in a nice shot right off the bat there. Very well done indeed. All right, second kickoff of the night goes Cogtray and Flurry, and they're hopping on over here to the orange side. Cogtray applying that pressure, keeping in the heat as they're tossing it on over. Heads is going, capturing the ball. Rubber Goose with only one B. Rubber Goose. Vaca Flocka goes and gets ready to catch the ball off the wall here, tossing it on over to Rubber Goose, who's in the goal, getting ready to make a nice little save there. Cogtray pops it on over to center field. Flowery goes and catches it over to Heads here, who bops it up into the team, and Rubber Goose is making a nice little save. Off in the corner here, off the wall, Heads goes and makes a nice little aerial play against the shot here to Cogtray, who rotates it on the rim of the goal, popping on up. Heads tosses it off to the backboard to Vaca Flocka to make a clean shot right off the back there. Bringing on Ids. Here we see Heads with the setup off the backboard as Vaca Flocka pops it into the goal. Very well done for Vaca there. The team is going in strong for the first match of the night. All right, Rubber and Vaca go and contest each other in the center. Heads goes and brings it to... making an off-the-match shot. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my che-che. That is what I call very close, my folks. Very close indeed. Cogtray goes and taps it over, almost making another shot with Vaca Flocka there. And Vaca Flocka giving Rubber Goose the uncho as he gets a demo down on him, and they pass it on over. Vaca Flocka catching the ball, getting ready for a nice defensive play. Cogtray tapping it over, almost making a shot, but Boneless Paint with the nice save, bringing it on in. Vaca Flocka in the corner, tossing it on down. Over here, Heads catches it off the wall, brings it nice little aerial dribble, bounce over into the goal for a score. What a nice little off-the-wall aerial play from Heads with a nice under-the-car tap into the goal to pop it on over the players, and he lands on the top of his car. Not good for insurance, that's for sure. All right, off to a good kickoff. Here we see Heads and Boneless tossing him bound over into the Goose, who misses the play, and Vaca with the play. Che-che. Here we see Vaca off the wall, throwing it on down from center field, bringing it over Rubber Goose into the corner shot. Wow. All right, here we are to the next kickoff. Vaca Flocka sending it on over into the corner here as Boneless Paint and Heads goes and contest each other for the goal. Here, Boneless Paint with a nice, cool-looking car, popping on over into the corner off the ricochet wall to the Vaca Flocka, who sends it back into the goal right off the bat there in the corner. Here we see Cogtray give the nice little reset to the center field for Vaca to send it on down into the goal for a nice 5th point. That's what I like to see, folks. All right, next kickoff goes to Heads and Boneless as they pass it over to Orange, where Cogtray gets the catch from center court, throws it on over, almost making a shot. Cogtray tried to give the follow-up over to Heads and Boneless here, who's in the corner. Vaca Flocka is going to go and try to make a save, but Flowery Chimps goes and catches it, bringing it over. Cogtray bounces it off the player there, getting it back over to Orange side, and Heads making a nice little play. Cogtray throwing it on down, back over to Orange side. He gets bumped off the ball, and Heads comes in for the save. Nice shot over here, getting very close to making a goal. Boneless is able to pop it on over as Cogtray ricochets it off the edge of the goal there. Getting so close. Vaca Flocka pops it off into the corner onto the Orange side here, stealing some boost and bumping him off the ball. Vaca Flocka's making some aggressive plays. Heads goes, takes another shot for a 6th point for the University Montana. Cogtre off the wall right there, centering it up for Heads to make a nice clean shot into the goal. Way to go, Griz. All right, bringing it in. We get Cogtre off of the start with Flowery Chimp there. Heads bringing it off the wall. Boneless bringing it over to blue side. Vaca Flocka cross court, throwing it on down. Flowery Chimps is throwing it over to Vaca Flocka, who's on the blue side here. Heads is going to bring it over to the wall and toss it on down. Going back and forth, it does get hit and tossed over to blue side where Cogtre is in the corner, trying to get it on out of there. Vaca Flocka with a nice little setup save off the wall, tosses it over for Boneless Paint, gets shut down and thrown on the ground by Vaca Flocka as he just unchoed his way down onto the ground there. Very nice, very nice. Rubber Goose there with the play. Heads tossing it over, almost making a shot. Cogtre securing the shot, tossing it between the players. Here we see Cogtre tossed it on up. Heads bringing it back over the goal, and Cogtre tapping it on down between Flowery to get behind him. What the play. What a play indeed. All right, bringing it on in. Vaca Flocka goes with Rubber Goose in the center on the kickoff here. Boneless gets contested with Heads as they do a pitch. No one knows where the ball is going there. Heads goes and brings it on out of the blue corner here. Vaca Flocka gets some boost as he's getting ready to pop it on down. Cogtre with a nice defensive play right there. Tosses it on out of the goal. 1 minute left on the clock. Throwing it on down. Rubber Goose gets bumped right there by his own teammate. And then Cogtre comes out of the blue, getting a nice goal for the University of Montana. Pops it over Rubber Goose right there, and Flowery just could not make it back to the goal to make defensive play. 8 points on the clock, 54 seconds left. Going in strong. Tossing it on down, Boneless Paint goes with a nice kickoff start there. Vaca Flocka tossing it on over with Heads here in the corner. Heads catching the ball, doing a dribble with a flip reset to send it on in over to orange side. Tossing on down with some green flair. We saw that the Flowery was bringing it on over, trying to get some boost and popping that ball. Vaca just barely missing the ball right there as he goes and bumps Boneless of the goal right there as Heads tosses it onto center field to Flowery, bumping it over to Vaca Flocka, who taps it over to Cogtre, brings it back into the goal. Vaca Flocka tosses it on down, almost making another shot, but Rubber Goose with the save. Boneless Pant is over here, tossing it on down, back and forth. They're making a lot of good shots. Cogtre almost made in another goal. Nice little aerial play from Heads, tossing it onto the ground, trying to secure the win for the University of Montana, passing it on over. They're keeping it off the ground, and Heads right here catches it with a dribble. Rubber Goose tossing it off them and sending it down to the ground. Very nice, very nice. And the first game goes to the University of Montana.